Man, I was kind of lucky to be able to get flown to Oklahoma on kind of a short notice. So, uh, one of my friends and I, Kimberly Dixie, though, man, I've been dragging her to what is it? University of Oklahoma games. Oklahoma's got quite a few national titles, and it's been since 2001 since they've actually won a national title. Me personally, I went to the University of Central Oklahoma, uh, which is about, it's in Edmond. In between is Oklahoma City, between Oklahoma and Norman. Norman is where the University of Oklahoma is. But I always say that the athletes are so good from here, and it's because that they threw natives here to die. Like all the lakes, all the streams, all the rivers, they're all man-made. Now, if natives could actually live through that stuff, uh, we always say that no pressure, no diamonds. And I always say that because, you know, sometimes there's just sacrifice. I don't know. I get fairly lucky though because a few of my friends though they work with tribes and they actually sponsored the national title game, and it's always neat though. And we got Clemson to play, and then we got I think that the planning committee wanted us to play the what is it? They wanted us to play Alabama because Alabama, which LSU wound up beating us in the national title game, and I believe in 2004. One of the really neat parts is that what is it? Nick Saban was their head coach, and then wound up heading out to Miami the very next year. And Nick Saban left LSU, and he wound up going pro football. So whenever he wound up going on and being the head coach of Alabama, we wound up beating him in a major title or a major bowl game, which was pretty sweet though. But until you can pay them back fully, one of the neat parts I like about it. They're actually building on. See, one of the things is that you actually had one of OU's worst years last year. I think we lost like about 4 games, which is kind of a big no-no for the University of Oklahoma. They wound up almost having to get rid of almost every coach, and I mean, if you're in Oklahoma, Bob Stoops is like, you know, one of the most classiest acts when it comes to being a coach. And you know, he doesn't care if you know how to play good, though you're going to be a gentleman as well, because that's exactly what it means. It means student athlete. You know, it's an honor to be able to play for this team or being able to represent the University of Oklahoma. And I always say that, you know, he really is a class act though, because he makes sure that you're passing, makes sure that, you know, you got your grades good, that you're a gentleman, that, you know, even though that they had some racism that actually went on with Sigma Alpha Epsilon, there was a player that actually spoke out, because that same fraternity was, you know, they were shaking hands and high-fiving people after games and all that stuff though, but, you know, they're singing a really extremely racist song though, and, you know, naturally that's going to incite a little bit of anger. But one of the really phenomenal things is that after this kid kind of spoke out, you know, sometimes you just don't have to go down to somebody's level. You don't have to sink that far, but Stoops was able to, you know, say, hey, look, you know what, probably not the best idea for you to really, you know, what do they say, let sleeping dogs lie. That's the thing, you don't always have to go down there and, you know, have to fight them though. Sometimes I do, just because I know that there's not a native voice. But, you know, one of the neat things was that Bob Stoops was able to, you know, say, hey, look, you're a part of a team, and we don't really need that kind of controversy, you know, overlooking our team. And you know, keeps it classy. He had a guy that was looking to go to the NFL, and the guy wound up getting in a bar fight. And he told him, "Hey, look, you're gone, bud." But you know, a really neat super thing. So, anyhow, you guys have a happy holidays, and hopefully, since they changed the playoff. I think they got what? They changed the playoff system to where it's actually what is it? The top four teams. So we're ranked fourth. We got to go against number one Clemson. I think SEC is actually highly overranked. So let's see. You got Michigan State, that's number 3, and then number 2 is Alabama. And I think Alabama will beat Michigan State. But anyhow, really I think what they want is OU and Alabama to, to be able to be those final games, because they come from lots of money and, strong programs and strong fan base, and go from there though. But hopefully I can hit a friend up in Arizona where, she works, or she's a tribal council member for the Auchin Indian community, and hopefully I can say, Anne Marie, that, or Councilman Robert McGill, and I can be able to say, please, it's been like 14, 15 years since OU's won a national title, and we're usually up for the national title every year. So, I was extremely happy though, because whenever Oklahoma loses to Texas, that's really, it bothers us. Kind of ruins our career though, or ruins our season though, and I was really angry for about 3 weeks though. But whenever they finished up, they beat all ranked teams. They beat TCU, they beat Baylor Bears, they beat who else did they beat? I can't think right off the top of my head, but for Oklahoma State University, and they beat like 4 ranked teams on the back end of their schedule, and it was, everybody knew it was kind of a long shot, and we were kind of ranked like 20th, and then we kept moving up, and then we kept moving up, and it was, man, we kicked butt though, and this quarterback though, a lot of times we've had a good quarterback, a good throwing quarterback, and clean, but most of the quarterbacks we've always had never could hit. So this one kid though, man, he's phenomenal, and I hope he does well. There's a lot of guys that go on from OU to wind up going on to the NFL, guys like Adrian Peterson, Sam Bradford, there's quite a few of them, running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, Malcolm Kelly, you name it. So, but class program all the way around. Anyhow, you guys have a good holiday, and I got to get some last minute shopping done. Bye-bye.